Right, so you might not want to hear this, but Belle Delphine is actually back. She is on a money-making grind again, and to be honest, this can only be bad for society at large. We did a video like a month ago on her most recent money-making scheme. If you haven't seen that video, then lock in, because you're probably not going to want to hear this. Or maybe you will, you know, maybe you are in the market for something like this. Basically, she started selling a doll of herself. Unfortunately, this isn't like some Funko Pop or like an ornament. This is like a life-size doll. To be honest, I just don't want to say it out loud, but you can probably guess what the purpose of this doll is. I don't know who's actually buying this. If you are in the market for something like this, you are probably too far gone. And I'm going off intuition here, but I can only imagine these dolls cost a lot of money. I'm not an expert, and I am still fighting the allegations from the last video. I should have banned you all for life, to be honest. I only said I wasn't a fan 20 times in the video. You have caught me out. If I was joking, that probably would have been funny, but you have caught me out. And you know what? To prove I'm not a fan, I'm going to pull up some Belle Delphine lore from about 5 years ago. You might remember Belle Delphine from back then. Hopefully you don't, for your own sake. But back then, she was selling bathwater. It was definitely one of the publicity stunts of all time. But in fairness, it did actually go quite well for her. At least that is what we thought at first, but it turns out maybe that wasn't the case. We're going to look at that in a little bit, because to be honest, it is just a little bit depressing. But first, I want to look back on that time, because to be honest, it does feel like another world. A lot of people did actually buy this bathwater. While some people were joking, some people definitely weren't, and it is painful looking back. Like, real quick, if you're ever struggling with anything, just know that as long as it doesn't get this bad, well then in the end, you are probably going to be fine.
When I heard Belle was bottling up her own filthy bathwater and selling it for $30 a jar, I knew I had to get some. Here it is, Belle Delphine's so-called gamer girl bathwater.
Listen, I don't want to be judgmental, but look at this man, and I know he's not lying. Those are the eyes of a Belle Delphine superfan. The gaze is permanently on the floor. I feel like if you bought this bathwater, you had to kind of sell a part of your soul. I don't even care if you're doing it for a joke. You still had to sell your soul. Imagine doing that. It could never be me. I mean, even if I wanted to buy some for this video, there probably is none left in existence, which is a shame really, because it probably ages like wine. If you've got any, then comment down below. Leave a like while you're down there. You know what? That aside, as long as he doesn't vape this, then we should be fine.
Using an eyedropper, I will remove a trace amount of the goddess potion, gently transferring it to the containment chamber. Before I can begin this ritual, I must call my father.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, he's not gonna pick up, so probably just let it go. Yeah, I don't know how we bounced back from this time period. Arguably, to be fair, we haven't. Like, honestly, the stuff that happened back then is probably on par with summoning the Antichrist. We messed up, and we are now paying the consequences. And speaking of the Antichrist, apparently he did buy the bathwater too.
And today, we got a very special treat. I know I say that every video, but I mean it this time. Dad's coming back. Everyone knows about this YouTuber. I guess she's not a YouTuber. She's like a gamer girl. She's a thought, if you will.
Most normal looking Belle Delphine fan. I almost respect it. Almost. So with that terrible context, we can move back into the present. Belle Delphine is back on the public relations circuit. She is trying to generate interest again. She went on a podcast with Louis Theroux. We covered it in the last video, but I'll just give you a quick reminder because it was a bit of a mess.
I wish there was a way to kill me on the internet and just like somehow delete everything or just kind of die in a sense.
Well, you know what? It's good to see her doing well. She can light up a room if she wants to. But in fairness, yesterday she did come out with something which would fully validate this mentality. Because on the podcast itself, she actually spoke about the bathwater. She claimed to have made 18 grand doing it, and it turned out, in actuality, she was lying. Real quick, all the Belle Delphine fans watching this still, get a tissue because this is about to get sad. It turned out she actually lost money in the end, and that is maybe the most depressing ending I could have imagined. Since it's been a couple of years now, I can share the biggest L I've ever taken. Not only did I not earn any money selling my bathwater, I in fact lost money doing it. PayPal, without any warning, closed my PayPal account and took the 90 grand. There was nothing I could do. I tried phoning them and they just said, sorry, nothing we can do. I mean, they have swindled her big time here. PayPal, if you don't sort this out, we are going to have big problems.
Dude, back off.
She also went on to say that she lied because it was a better story, which is fair enough, I guess. The most depressing part of this, though, is the bank balance which she attached. Like 90 grand in debt for all this effort. I've seen people say they don't care because she's a millionaire. That is crazy. It could be divine intervention just holding her to account for all the crimes against humanity she perpetrated. But probably not. I think it might just be PayPal stealing money from her. She went on to say that basically she was in so much debt because every time she sold a unit, she would be charged 2.5k. I mean, everything else aside, regardless of what you think about Belle Delphine, and regardless about what you think about what she does for a living, this is undeniably mental. They can, on a whim, just decide anything you're doing is a breach of terms and service. She also said that every unit she shipped to America was $11 in shipping. PayPal have finessed her differently. If you take nothing else from this video, it should probably be that you shouldn't use PayPal. Not in solidarity with her necessarily, just for the sake of your own money, really. Granted, she's got a lot of simps, she makes a lot of money, but either way, that amount of effort for nothing is kind of painful. The only consolation is that it did make her very known. Like, even now, people do remember who she is, and I feel like she's going to use that for another push. Given how much money she's lost, I would not be surprised if she does the exact same thing again. Why else bring it public after all this time? Something is definitely cooking, and that scares me, to be honest, and it should probably scare you too. The internet has admittedly changed a lot since then, so I don't even know if this is still legal. People have said that this is probably a biohazard, and given the details that did come out later, it makes sense. For it to be a biohazard, it does have to be real. And to be fair, she did fully die on a hill that it was indeed 100% authentic.
Was it real?
Yes.
And how
Yes.
long did it take to fill up that many jars of bath water? And how
long did you soak in that?
And how many baths did you have to take?
So I did it in like intervals, like just because I didn't know how many people would order this. I just kind of did it because I could. And I kind of wanted to see if I could. I mean, so I'd go in the bath and then just like chill out, play some like podcast or some show or something, and just fill it up and scoop it out. And then, you know, I'd probably have like 100 for one bath, and then I'd go in the next bath and like do it again. So it was real bath water.
You know what? I trust the pink-haired e-girl. With the fact that people did drink it, I don't know what's sadder, it being real or it not being real. I mean, probably it not being real, because there was talk that she had a few transmissible diseases. People were speculating she had herpes, and I mean, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. Some tweets did initially go viral, but they were taking the piss. And people did find like old videos of her with cold sores and stuff, which would imply maybe she does have it. I can anecdotally say that the bathwater wasn't infected. I heard it from a friend, alright? I heard it from a friend. He's fine. No soul left, but he is fine otherwise. And honestly, with that in mind, it's just unjustifiable that they did take the money. Now, the obvious answer would be to sue PayPal and get the money back, but that is probably going to be a massive hassle. As well as that, just looking through old clips, it turned out she did have some legal troubles back in the day when she did sell it.
Belle Delphine arrested for selling bathwater.
No, but I did get into a little bit of a sticky, like a legal thing, because basically when I sold it, I didn't put any disclaimer on the website and I didn't put any disclaimer on the packaging. So what I had to do was I had to re-email everyone who bought it and say, like, you need to sign this before I can send it to you. Most people replied back, and then I was covered, but I just forgot to put that disclaimer, and apparently that disclaimer is very important because someone in America could drink it and be like, this, you know, made me sick. And then they could sue me.
Yeah, looking back, this now does look like the worst publicity stunt in history. If nothing else, just let this be a moral lesson. Don't sell your bathwater online. It can only go wrong. Even in the best case scenario, again, you have sold your soul. I honestly do think, looking back, that that was a real turning point in society. I mean, it definitely rippled out from the internet into real life. And now we're kind of fucked. So if you weren't around then, just know that things did used to be better. And with these good memories in mind, people were very empathetic towards Belle. Like, an outpouring of support did come from this post. Yeah, I'm taking the piss. This was maybe the nicest comment. But yeah, at the end of the day, don't feel too bad for her. It turns out she does make a lot of money. I mean, I found a clip from 2 years ago, so you can only imagine this figure has now multiplied.
How many subscribers do you have on your OnlyFans?
I don't want to say that, but I
I
can say...
tried.
They never do.
I tried.
No,
I tried.
I am actually being quite open recently. I decided... Well, I'll just say it. I think we're all, like, the main people on OnlyFans are roughly earning the same, I think, from what I know, and at the moment it's like $1 million a month.
It's a hard life, and sadly, I think we are about to see the cycle repeat. I hope I'm wrong, but for some reason, I feel like she is going to do something crazy. So brace yourself and subscribe, because if it does happen, I am inevitably going to make a video on it. And with all that said, let me give you one final reminder as to what is going to happen if you fall down this rabbit hole.
I have a confession to make. I'm super poor because I bought Belle Delphine's bathwater, and I'm going to drink it to try and make some more money back.
Like and sub, or this is going to be you. And let's be real, I don't think either of us want that.